Howdy folks, good evening, hello you. We have a number of 6, it's Audio Who. And tonight guys we've gathered to sit and talk brass tacks over Season 3, story number 4 of the Lost Stories range with Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant in The Guardians of Prophecy. We have the planet of Serenity. We have an AI overlord. We have a lot of political endgame going on. And we have the Doctor and Peri slap bang in the middle of it. Where do we begin? Alright, Philip, since this is one of your favourites and it was your suggestion, can I get your opening thoughts please on The Guardians of Prophecy, Colin Baker, Nicola Bryant and guest starring Stephen Thorne.
Hey, how about introduction?
I was going to say, can you mention Stephen Thorne? Because
hang on. Well, just pointed something out there. I'm getting lapsical in my old age. Well, you're about to find that out. But before we get to all that, let's get to this. It's your planner for this evening. Joining us from NYC, after reminding me, Mr. Will Medina. Well, how's it going?
Hey, now you dyslexic bastard.
That's magnificent, dyslexic bastard to you. Joining us every does on a Monday morning, it's the Thunder from Down Under. AJ, how goes it?
Hi guys, how are you?
Good to see you, mate. Other for Corpus Christi, he has a beard that must be feared. And it's still hotter than hell. It's Texas Tim Wells. Timbo?
Hello.
Good to have you, man. Alex, Massachusetts, how's it going tonight, man?
Yeah, it's fine. Glad to be here. Hi, everybody.
That's the part when you say hello. Good to have you, man. And all the way from Tottenham, Phil. Hello.
Good evening, you baldy bastard. All right, thank you.
I don't know why I come up here every week and take this sort of abuse. I really don't. So anyway, guys, yeah.
Feed drinks.
Yeah, well, there you go. That must be the case, man. The drink must be going to the head. So yeah, Guardians of Prophecy, Phil. Opening thoughts, Colin Baker, Nicola Bryant, and guest starring Stephen Thorne. A voice classic Whovians may recognise. Okay,
I really like this story because it's like a sequel to Keeper of Traken, no less. Particularly set after the destruction of the Traken Union. Mm-hmm. I like this because we get to learn a bit more about the statues called Melkurs, mm-hmm. and how they are actually operated by evil impulses. Particularly, they are the foot soldiers of the main villain in this piece called, what's his name again?
Malaga,
who is ably played by Stephen Thorne. And you know what? Every time I hear Stephen Thorne play this character, all I'm hearing is Omega from the Three Doctors. It's kind of weird, but that's how I'm saying it.
Well, he was also the dude Eldrad.
Eldrad, yeah.
There you go. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, you're right there, Tim. Well done. Yeah, that's true. And so that's what I'm hearing, those sort of characters from his voice. I do like Graham. He was from the Bill. Graham somebody who plays I can't say his name. Echo.
The thief.
Yeah, the thief.
The safe cracker. Well, what's his name? Graham what?
Graham Cole.
Graham Cole.
Yeah, who's a stalwart Doctor Who actor, because he plays many monsters in Doctor Who in the classic series, particularly the Pterodactyl. Mm-hmm. So he was good. And Serenity, I do love Serenity. A poor cow. She had to destroy
this one.
That poor cow. Yeah.
Just to save everybody's skin, she has to do what she has to do. And the two main players, Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant, very good in this. It's a brilliant story, and anybody who hasn't heard it, go and grab it, man, because it is a good little romp.
There you go. You little romp. Go seek it out. Tim, opening thoughts for this one for you, mate? Guardians of Prophecy.
Well, I agree with Philip. It's a lot of fun. It's clever how they took a lot of the ideas from the Keeper of Traken and added to them and built on them and made an original story that wasn't just a rerun of the previous one. And it's well cast. It's funny too in some places. I mean, the doctors and Peri are really good in this. I mean, they're you see them always at the bottom of the polls and stuff like that, but from the TV series. But if you listen to some of their stories, especially these lost stories with Sixie and Peri, they're really good. Mm-hmm. And it really shows you what might have been so many years ago on TV if they had done these stories instead of some of the ones they did. But you never know. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a fun run around, and it's I don't know. It's an enjoyable listen. So I don't have any. The music's cool too. The music's very 80s.
Certainly of the time, indeed. What's something thoughts for this one for you, mate? How did you find it?
I'm trying to unmute myself. So yeah, actually, it did remind me of the TV, show and all that. They might have had some trouble trying to show it if they had filmed it, but it did remind me of the TV show a lot, especially Stephen Thorne. Even though I didn't like the fact, I wanted the Sixth Doctor to say, "Oh yeah, when I picked up Miss, I bumped into them as well." But this is a minor quibble, and it is a good story. And like I said, it's very reminiscent of the TV show. And that's the good thing about Big Finish, is that they sort of take what the TV show couldn't afford to film and, bring it into a good story, and it's longer too. So you can concentrate more on that.
Fair comment. AJ, how about you, mate? Open thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I like this story. It was good that there was sort of a harken back to Traken and how he sort of glosses over the fact that one of his companions' planets was destroyed by one of his greatest enemies. It almost felt like it was a heartbreaking return just for him to even be in that sector of space. So it was a good story, and I think could have been a good episode too if they ended up filming it. They could have made something special out of it, but it never happened. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you reckon, man? Open thoughts?
Well, this is a good story. From listening to it, like you guys were saying, this is supposed like you could say a sequel to the Keeper of Traken. But the funny, what I was thinking about is that after all these years since that story was aired, that nobody has ever thought of a sequel for him to go back to that area. Since in this story, that is the only planet in existence in that universe that still, that has life because of what happened in the following story, Legopolis. So I'm shocked after I had a search on it that had never been a sequel. You can't say a sequel, just a follow up to see how that universe is, that the Doctor never went back to it. So that was a little bit shocked to find out it never been done until would have been the Sixth Doctor, which was never done, and of course now it has to be in audio. So that's a little bit bugged out. This is a good story. Now, like you said, like in the beginning of the story, there's a little political backstabbing going on and all that. Which this made me laugh so much that didn't last long. That plot that made me laugh, because if you look at it, the bigger threat in the story, is Malador, and I'm glad that the story focused more on him and of course his little creatures and all that. Than that political nonsense. So that really stood out. I liked it very much. So that we can nitpick a little bit here and there, but I got to give props, of course, to Peri and the Doctor, and of course the great Autolycus, the great thief that and those three together was a great combo. It's sad at the end, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. And just to clarify, no, we're not referring to Bruce Campbell.
No, they must have bowed a name, though.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that was, I enjoyed this, but I agree with Will. That first 10 minutes when I initially went back and listened to this, when you've got the old farts, debating in the chamber and all that. I seek conference from the Grand Prophet, and you're going, all right, where's this gone? But thankfully, the Doctor and Peri get entrapped in the chant of the dead or whatever the hell it was, and the story eventually picked up. Who was the old historian? Was it Mura? Oh crap! I'm absolutely dodgy with names.
That's Commander Mira being the baddie.
Mura.
The old historian who went into the labyrinth.
Well, Mura was played by James George.
James, yeah, he did a good role here. I found it ironic though that all your supported baddies in the beginning were dead by midway through part 3.
Yeah.
With the exception of Malagor, and you're like, oh, there you go. This thing's really flipped what it said. So that's really enjoyable. And it's really good to see that these supported scripts or ideas were taken within this range in Big Finish, and you've got some more stories that never were. Season 23 or whatever it should have been, and Place of Trial at the Time Lord, hell. Sometimes the budget just can't stretch that far, I guess. Or Michael Gregg sticks his bloody nose in. You decide. Right, guys. Any events, characters, or instances within this tale that stood out for you?
Can I just interject about
No. I'm sorry. Continue.
before this story? There was a pre-Trakenite visit with Peter Davison in the Big Finish story Primeval. If anybody remembers that.
That was early. That was in the 90s.
That story takes place before Logopolis.
Yeah, before the destruction of.
Yeah, that was way back. And then this one right here takes.
Yeah, I was just throwing that in just to tie it in with the.
Remember, they said it's been over 1,000. They had 1,000 years of peace. So that's tell you how long they've been around.
Hence why the planet's called Serenity. Yeah, I guess. Anyway,
the doctor said it was a boring planet.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah. All right, events or characters that stood out for you guys. Well,
Autolycus.
Autolycus, yeah.
My man could pick any lock, especially those classic locks that was beautiful. He didn't want to break it. I mean, but I got ticked off that he got bumped off, man. I said, "Oh man, give me a break,
no
man."
Sacrifice right at the end. I mean,
give me a break, man. That guy could have dodged the freaking thing, man.
It was funny too how he kept trying to tell a story every time he was asked to do it. This reminds me of whenever this happened, you know.
Yeah, that was the thing of what Peri was feeling with the doctor kept saying, "Oh, it reminds me when I met this chap." I said, "You know, Peri and some of these companions need to carry a roll of duct tape around them to keep these guys shut up, man, and all their stories they tell. Man, they don't shut up."
Can you please stop explaining everything with an anecdote? Yeah, well, but there you go. Yeah, he was a good character, man. He done a bang up job in this. Graham Cole, you're right there, man.
But the computer stood out also because she's the one that saved the doctor from being killed in that pit. Even though she sacrificed herself. That stood out. It's a shame that the doctor cannot bring her back because she's not really needed anymore. Those profits that got was being used too political and it was favoring the aristocrats.
Yeah, the Guardians. Yeah. All right. Timbo, maybe anything stand out?
Well, I like too how the doctor felt a little bit guilty when they first got to there at the beginning of their part in the story, because he remembers what happened in Logopolis, or Keeper of Traken Logopolis, how that whole universe did get destroyed by the Master's plot. And so, I mean, he still feels a bit of a twinge, like, that's something he couldn't stop. That's something that, because he was too busy involved in the other end of the plot or whatever. So that was cool how he felt that way. But yeah, like, sorry, I lost my train. But anyway, yeah, I like that. I liked. It's just a good story. I mean,
all right.
Yeah, sorry, you have to come back to me.
No, no bother. I have that all the time. See the start of this video. AJ, have you met?
Yeah, I did like a lot of the characters in the story, especially the beginning with the exposition of the whole, this and that, like it was a whole religious ceremony thing. Just try, and it basically sort of just talk normal. It's nothing formal. I did like in this Commander Mira, he reminded me a lot of Anthony Head from Buffy. The way he spoke, his voice sounded very similar to that.
It was my right. Yeah, sorry.
And also how the Doctor uses every available, every person around him that he can use possibly to help him move forward instead of just whipping out the Sonic and, moving forward with the story like that. He actually utilizes everything to his benefit. But the story had an overall feel to me of the Keys of Mariners. It felt like that, with the whole the field and all that sort of stuff. How it was a field over the planet, how it was trying to stop the invaders getting in and all that. So it reminded me a bit of the Keys of Mariners a bit.
All right, Phil. All right, Phil. Lay it on us.
Lay it on you. I'm going to echo what everybody says about Graham Cole's character. He was fantastic, and yeah, like everybody else said, his anecdotes were kind of wearing, but it was a nice little jokey ride with him. I am quite taken by the first corner shop owner on Serenity, or Prophecy, the little packy Guardian. That was kind of
the
weird.
views of our part, Chad, do not necessarily reflect the views of everybody here in the audio. Who?
I always get people when he starts speaking. I'm like, oh man, they got a cool shop on Serenity. But he's funny. I give prop to Stephen Thorne for being a Malador, because the cruel stuff that he did to certain people in this, it was quite horrendous.
Yeah, how he was torturing the librarian, the historian guy who was, yeah, like, what was that character's name again? The old fella?
I don't know now.
And in cahoots with Commander Mura.
Oh, I forgot his name. He had a funny name. The older guy, the older dude.
Yeah.
Olga.
Yeah.
Olga, yeah. It was
Olga.
played by Nigel Lambert.
There you go, Nigel Lambert, yeah.
Got it bad. He got a worse stick on the end, so that was quite cool.
Well, there you go. That's what happens when you mess about in the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Alex, anything stand out for you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, of course they probably had to change, people's accents or characterizations to sort of help it stand out, so you didn't get confused between, one and another. But it was well written. It was amusing. It was sort of self-aware, in quotation marks, of the anecdotes, just like you had in The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, but a little quicker. I mean, basically I was just concentrating on the Melkur and the villain and Peri and the doctor, and I thought that was pretty good. That's what stood out to me somehow. But like I said, it's still a very good story and very reminiscent of the TV show.
All right, good one. Thanks, mate. And with myself, again, what's been covered, the regulars were superb. The Melkur, statues that lie dormant. I'm really surprised there isn't a thread on Gallifrey base somewhere proclaiming that Stephen Moffat ripped after Weeping Angels for the Melkur, but there you go. That's just a bugbearer for another day. I suppose if you look hard enough, you'll probably find one.
It's a whole different approach, though, isn't it? Because these guys
it's a whole different approach, yeah, but
they're trapped because they're evil, so they become statues, and then they still have, and this guy, this villain manages to harness the power and reanimate them. So that's a whole different thing.
I know they've got one central control focal point, basically, whereas the Angels is something different. But you know what the internet's like. It was just an amusing wee chuckle I had to myself. I'm surprised I didn't see that comparison floating about somewhere in cyberspace.
Well, remember these they communicate, they did talk especially to their master and to the doctor like that. So unlike the angels, unlike the angels got to break somebody's vocal cords to use to talk.
Let's not bring up Angel Bob again.
That was a good scene in this story when the advancements of the Melkurs as they're trying to kill people as they're going through the city.
That's when Mura gets cops it, isn't it? When they go through the Guardians chamber and the main city. So that was quite good. The resolution with Malagar, whereby he gets trapped within the labyrinth, and you've got the beasts of the labyrinth like coming towards him, and I'm assuming devouring them. It was like something out of Spawn. You're like, really? Okay, there you go. So that was rather amusing, and not a bad resolution, considering the pieces all tied together when it came out like the amulet and the central hub of the tomb. So good resolution for me. Right, guys, open mic portion of the cast. Anything else you want to bring up before we get us rated and in the can?
Well, what I was going to mention earlier when I lost my train was that you're right when you said earlier about how the story starts out as one thing, and then about halfway through at the middle point, that's when it turns into about this monster, this thing that's been awakened, and that's a clever way to make the story work. And I like too how the doctor just says, "Well, can't you just go back to sleep with snooze?"
There must be a snooze button somewhere, surely.
Yeah, well, it stood out when Malador had the doctor, and he sensed his head, and he sensed the evil that was within him, which of course we know that because of the Ultimate Foe. But what was weird, he said he mentioned the line that was used in Journey's End, that how many people had died because of you, like that.
Well, the one Davros used,
Yeah, that was used with David Tennant. But I was wondering that he I wonder if this episode came out before or after the David Tennant episode.
No, but other villains have said that to him in the past. I mean, all the other doctors have been told that as well by different villains, like how many people how many deaths are you responsible for? You know, that kind of thing. Not so many words, but you know, you're right. It is very similar to what Tennant did, but I mean, it's kind of thing you're going to run into occasionally.
Yeah, but like you said earlier, this hit the Sixth Doctor a lot because that area was practically wiped out with the Master and the Doctor was involved in that battle.
Yeah.
So he felt that in him. He's
But see, that's why he's a good guy though, because he actually feels a little bit guilty about it, even though it wasn't his fault. I mean, he just remembers that. Oh shit! I remember what happened here, and it wasn't good.
Well, I mean, hasn't that also in a way been an underlying current in Doctor Who about his companions and other people that have sacrificed themselves for him or for, you know, the team, the cause that he's fighting for from, you know, the first Doctor to now and probably future incarnations?
Well, that's what I was saying. It does get brought up occasionally, usually by a villain telling him, "Yeah, you think you're so good, Doctor? What about the people that you let die or get killed?" Or whatever.
Yeah. What about Harry Jones? Yeah, you know.
Sorry, Graham. No, but
what about Adric? Damn it!
Fuck Adric.
Yeah. But I mean, again, if you're going to actually, you know, have a cause, or if you're going to fight a team or a villain, it wouldn't be practical also if nobody died in any of those stories. It would be nice, but it's not practical. It's not at all relatable. And that, you know, that is sort of the risk that you take. I mean, he is a good guy that he's fighting for the good cause and the good team and all that.
All right, keep talking about
it.
I
know it's still philosophical.
No.
But
Alex, shut the fuck up a minute. I need to leave. Keep talking about Outback.
Okay.
but the funny thing is that if you go back, like you said, Texas, that how much the Doctor remembers about that universe being destroyed that means we have to go back almost to the first Doctor, how much guilt he felt because of Katarina sacrificing herself for him. And then, of course, and then everything after that, of course, all the stories on either books or audio that shows the stories before an unearthly child.
But that's one of the points of his character is he's the kind of guy that kind of moves on. Like he keeps on moving on, you know, like, yeah, bad things happen to him. He loses friends along the way and he's been doing it for centuries. But I mean, he does have a tendency to move on and be the happy guy, happy Doctor on to the next bit of fun. You know, that's usually
that attitude bit, the eighth Doctor, because when Keris died, he had that attitude and Charlie didn't like it. That's what comes in the next story. She wanted to leave. She left.
I haven't listened to that, but my point was that up until the War Doctor, that he's not that Doctor. He's the one that isn't happy. You know, he's got a job to do or whatever. My point was though that ever since the first Doctor, even then too, if he loses a friend, he'll grieve for a bit, but then he'll move on. So that's always been the nature of the character.
Right, and then of course, if you're fighting Cybermen or Daleks or villains like that. And even Capaldi has said it, you know, he's lived for thousands of years, not all of them good. And sometimes the choices are, you know, bad ones. You don't, you know, it may not present itself.
What confuses me about Matador and Serenity is like, if they know this guy was utterly evil, why the hell would they put him in a tomb and with ready-made soldiers for him to...
Well, I think he explains at some point in the last part, doesn't he, that he wasn't necessarily a bad guy, that he did something what he had to do or something.
It was like counterbalance. He was like the opposite of Serenity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, isn't that also a theme of science fiction as well, that you can't be totally one way or the other, you know, life and...
Especially in 2017.
No, but life is, you know, somewhere in between. Hopefully you choose toward the good or the good, but, you know, life isn't like that. And when you're talking about politics or governments or whatever, it's, you know, hopefully it's not an extreme one way or the other.
Yeah, at the end of the day, political endgames are just a big ball of wobbly, timey-wimey shit. So there you go.
Timey whiny, you said timey whiny.
Yeah, timey whiny. Yeah.
There we go. And else, guys.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I like
Oh, sorry,
like the part where, I was going to say, I like the part when the Doctor gets put on trial for being in the necropolis, and he turns it on Mura, and he goes, "Well, you were down there too.
Oh,
Are you ready to die?"
Yeah, no, we get, well, I will have to consult with prophecy. Though.
Not only that, he once again mentions that he's the smartest person in the room.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Which this Doctor has a habit of doing.
Yeah. Colin Baker has no problem in making sure people know that. That's always good. That's a cool
Like I
trait.
said, these companions gonna have to start walking with duct tape on them.
There you go. Although using Peri and duct tape, I would no go there.
No, she was good in this one though. I think. I mean,
no, I didn't mean that in a derogatory sense. I meant in a Stephen Price state of my basement type sense. But
no, I mean, they get split up early on, and she ends up hanging out with the grave robbers or whatever they were, and it was like, it was cool how they did that.
She didn't have no choice, and then you notice they put her in front in case a trap went off.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh man, oh poor girl.
There you go. Just as well, it wasn't a booby trap. Anyway, puns and innuendos done for this evening. It's that time again.
Well, how's it deal with his speech impediment?
I have a great speech impediment, and it's down to a lot of Alcatraz. It's called
alcohol.
Instead of a lot of alcohol, and many years I was watching Sylvester and Tweety, Silverton Succotash.
Suffering succotash.
Who gives a shit? The Guardians of Prophecy. Season 3, story number 4 of the All Stories range. Colin Baker, Nicola Bryant, guest starring Stephen Thorne. All right, well, what's the number on NYC, mate?
I give it a 9 out of 10. It's a great story, and I recommend everybody listen to it.
Booyah! 9 is fine. Timbo, what's the view for Techie Go, mate?
I'll do the same. It's a great story. I think anybody who hasn't should check out all the Lost stories. They're all really pretty good for the most part.
Apart from Power Play.
Which one?
Power Play. That's shit. But anyway.
Well, that's a story for another day.
Oh, that's your opinion, and when we do that, you're gonna have to come on and explain it.
He'll skip that week.
Yeah.
No one is safe.
There you go, Phil. Go for it, mate. What do you guess?
Guardians of Property. It's a massive story. I do like how when Big Finish writes into loosely connected stories to classic stories that we see on TV. So I like that kind of way to do it. So for me, Guardians of Property, it gets a 9.5 for me because it's a stonking story, and I love it to bits.
He spends all week blowing the bloody bugle on this thing, then he docks off a point. Any particular reason, Phil?
No, because I don't want to be a 10 man.
You don't want to be a 10 man.
Yeah.
Yes, 10.
10 man.
10, yeah, 10 point. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I wouldn't get it. But it's
He does that when he goes to Chippendale.
Somewhere a few hundred David Tennant fans just punched the end and went, yes! Anyway. AJ, what do you give this one, mate?
I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. It was a very good story, and it didn't use the whole, quick fix of using a gadget here or there. It was actually MacGyverish, so I liked it.
Excellent, mate. Alex, what do you recommend? What do you give us in terms of score?
I do like it. I do like that I, found it and listened to it. I would give it a 9, except that I think it should have been, they could have shaved maybe 15 minutes off of it.
So you're giving it an 8?
Yeah, I'm giving it an 8. But like I said, I just think that, I'm not sure if it's because they were trying to put in too many characters. But I think they could have cut out 3 and it actually would have been, especially the long political thing too, even though I understand. But if they had cut it down to like 2 minutes, then I would have definitely given it a 9.
Well, you know what? It's not very often I say this, but to a small degree, I agree with Alex, especially that first 10, 12 minutes. But that was my own. Who's interrupting me? How dare you? That was my only wee minor gripe, but I get what the story they were trying to tell, and they were trying to introduce the plot, but you're like, can we move this along slightly, please? As I say, after you get by that first 10 minutes, not a problem. story picks up, and you're off to the races. So for me, Graham Cole was dynamite in this. Just a shame he obviously get bumped off. We can't get him back. But I'll give this an 8.5. Solid outing for me. Right, Phil, you may now air your protestations.
No,
How can I
that's
help
all
you?
right. It's all right. I've listened to the rest of what you have to say, so I'm going to let you get away with that one. So there you go.
Oh, you want to let me off with that? How bloody kind of you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, I would say you could say that about a lot of stories. They go to
True.
a few minutes here or there because many times they're long, but I don't think this one really dragged that much once the story started moving. I think you're right. Maybe in the first 10 minutes, you're like wondering where is this going, but it is pretty much setting the tone. I think maybe it's because the doctor didn't show up for like the first 15 minutes.
That's probably
right?
what it is as well, yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those ones where, they're just setting up I mean, like you mentioned earlier, they wipe all that out by the end of episode 2. It becomes this kind of story instead. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know.
It wasn't even that long, man, but halfway through episode 1, you're fine. You're off to the races with the story. It was just that first 10, 12 minutes you're going, all right, who are these people? Why are they talking? And
why do we care?
Why do we care? And why have they all got different accents? And oh my God, I'm in the middle of Bradford. But that's a story for another day.
Me and 60 are here to tell you that that the Guardians of Prophecy was a really, really awesome audio adventure with the Sixth Doctor and Peri, and it was amazing. The prophecy being an AI system which protects people was intense, and there was a little like we can see the future and we know what's best for everybody kind of thing. That was fun. It was a really good audio. I'd strongly suggest it for people who like Sixth Doctor and Peri stories, and I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It was a really cool story. Thanks.
Right, guys, done, dusted, in the can, and we've had a ball as per usual. Just leaves us to let you know what we're doing next week. Next week we'll be taking a trip back into the Companion Chronicles range, into season 8, story number 1. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
And Philip, you can't fuck this up while showing it on screen.
No, we head back into the life of Jeffrey Beaver's master in the story Mastermind.
Yes, and he'll be aided by Daphne Ashbrook and Yat Jisoo as different characters because Fox are a bunch of bastards and still own the rights to their characters. So fuck you, Fox.
Don't say that. You do love their Lucifer.
Well, yeah, you touch that and you anyway. So yeah, we look forward to diving into that, guys. As usual, please check out our buddies on the wonderful wackety world of the YouTube. You've got Dr. Freedom, these daily news broadcasts, his Omega Files, and the adventures of Dr. Freedom and Eric. You've got Sue with TARDIS Blue Radio. You've got Harry with Doctor Who using his books. You've got the guys and dolls Eric Geeks Assembled. They cover a vast range of videos, TV, movies, and audios themselves. Johnny Blue, Sammy Carter, Mike Shannon, whenever he's online. You know the drill by now. Please like, share, subscribe. All that good stuff. Have a good week. All the rest out to the panel. Thanks for your attendance here this evening. It's new Sunday night. I'm off to have a cookie, a bake bar, non-alcoholic, you know. So we wish you all a safe and prosperous week, guys, and we will see you next Sunday. Vaya con Dios.